Blood on my hands. Screams in my ears. And yet, silence inside me. That's what I remember, the silence. Not peace. Not victory. Just the hollow quiet that comes when Khorne takes everything that made you human, and leaves behind only rage. My name was Captain Alaric Vorn, commander of the 32nd Cadian Shock Troopers. I fought for the Emperor, once. I believed in honor. In courage. In the idea that war had a purpose, but war doesn't care about purpose. It just wants blood, and that's where he found me, the blood god himself. This is the story of how I fell, and what it truly means when Khorne corrupts you. It started on Draxus IV, a dying world burning under endless siege. The air was thick with ash and screams. My regiment had been fighting for 97 straight days. No rest. No reinforcements. Just the enemy and us, heretics, mutants, demons, all pouring out of the warp like nightmares given flesh. We were outnumbered 10-1. And worse, morale was gone. I tried to keep them together. I told my men we were fighting for something bigger. That the Emperor would protect us, but every dawn, fewer men believed me. One night, during a bombardment that tore through half our trenches, I found my sergeant, my closest friend, Bren, on his knees beside the corpses of our comrades. His hands were shaking, his eyes wide. "They're all dead, Alaric," he said. "The Emperor's not listening." I wanted to comfort him. But I couldn't. Because I felt it too, the creeping whisper that maybe we were forgotten. That's when I heard the first voice, not through ears, but in my head. A deep growl, like metal grinding on stone. "You fight well, mortal. You bleed with fury. You could be so much more." I spun around, weapon ready. But there was nothing there, only smoke and firelight dancing over red mud. I thought it was exhaustion. Madness. But the voice didn't leave. It followed me through every battle, every charge, every kill, and the more I fought, the louder it grew. "They abandoned you. But I will not. I see your strength. Your hate. Your desire to live." Then came the ambush. Chaos forces overran our flank. My men were screaming, burning, dying, and something inside me broke. I stopped giving orders. I stopped thinking that I just killed. Every swing of my chain's word felt like release. Every drop of blood on my armor felt like warmth. When it was over, I was standing in a pile of corpses, friend and foe alike. My armor was drenched in red. My weapon still dripping, and from the smoke, I saw him. A towering shape of brass and shadow, horns like blades, eyes like molten suns. "You have done well, Alaric," the voice rumbled. "You have offered me blood, and blood is all I ask." I fell to my knees, not in worship, not in fear, but because something inside me wanted to. That was the night I stopped fighting for the Emperor. That was the night I started fighting for blood. Khorne's gift wasn't immediate. It crept in like a fever. My wounds began to heal too fast. My strength doubled, then tripled. But with every gift came hunger, a need to kill. At first, I told myself it was for survival. That I was doing what needed to be done to protect the few men left under my command, but that was a lie, because when the enemy stopped coming, I turned on my own. One by one, my soldiers began to vanish. At night, in the dark, their screams echoing across the camp. The others whispered that the demons were close. They didn't know the demon was me. Khorne whispered through my rage, feeding it. Every kill felt righteous. Every scream felt holy. I saw visions, rivers of blood, mountains of skulls, a throne made from the bones of heroes. "Blood for the blood god," the voice roared. "Skulls for the skull throne." And I obeyed, until only Bren remained that he found me at dawn, standing over the bodies of our comrades. His face was pale, his hands trembling around his lost gun. Alaric, what have you done? I couldn't answer. I didn't even know anymore. When he raised his weapon, I didn't see my friend. I saw weakness that I charged that he fired, the shot burned through my chest, but I didn't stop that my blade found his throat, and when he fell, something inside me finally snapped, the ground split beneath my feet. The sky burned crimson, chains burst from the earth and wrapped around me, dragging me into a sea of molten blood that I screamed, not from pain, but from ecstasy, because I understood, Khorne hadn't corrupted me, that he had revealed me, all the honor, all the duty, all the lies of the Imperium, gone. What remained was truth. War is all there is. When I rose again, I wasn't Alaric anymore. My armor was red brass, my eyes burned like coals, that I was a champion of Khorne, born in rage, sustained by slaughter, but sometimes, in the quiet between battles, I remember the faces of my men. Bren's voice. The smell of Draxus IV burning, and for just a moment. I wonder, was it corruption, or was it just freedom? When Khorne corrupts you, he doesn't take your soul by force, that he just shows you what you already are, stripped of excuses, stripped of mercy. That's the horror of it, because in the Warhammer universe, corruption doesn't begin with evil, that it begins with despair, and once you give in, once you taste that power, there's no coming back.